Good morning, and a very warm welcome to you all. It is my distinct honor and privilege to be with you here in Berlin today, to welcome you all to the New York Times Art Leaders Network. We are genuinely thrilled to bring together all of you, the leaders and innovators in the art world, to explore and assess the dramatic changes taking place in your fields today all around the globe. Now, this prestigious gathering grew out of the former Art for Tomorrow Forum, which took place for 3 remarkable years in Doha. And we are convening here now in the German capital, a dynamic hub of contemporary art, innovation, and culture. The global landscape today is anything but constant. And amidst rapid change, the New York Times remains dedicated to a rigorous approach to journalism in all areas of society, from politics and government to science, technology, and of course, the arts. For example, Robin Pogrebin, the Times' wonderful leading arts and culture journalist, and the esteemed host of this conference, has demonstrated our commitment to such reporting with recent coverage of the Frick's new expansion design, the Met's new director, the record-setting auction sale of a Da Vinci, and an emerging art donor base in Los Angeles, all great examples of wonderful journalism. And another terrific example was just last month, Amy Quinn's piece on Art Basel Hong Kong, which masterfully unpacked how the art world's center of gravity is shifting towards Asia. So it is here at the Art Leaders Network where we extend such coverage beyond our pages into dynamic conversation, exploring critical and current questions, such as how museums define an art canon and build new audiences, how auction houses rethink their business models, how art galleries adapt to new buying habits, and of course, so much more. So it's with this rich context that we invite you to join this conversation here and now, and to use these 2 days to explore issues and ideas with the same inquisitive approach we deliver each day to millions of readers around the world. So that's your challenge, ladies and gentlemen. And we urge you to speak up, ask questions, share perspectives, and actively participate. We want this to be as interactive as possible. And you will not be without help. Guiding us will, of course, be our host, Robin, whose vision has shaped this conference from beginning to end, along with Times colleagues Tokyo Bureau Chief Matoka Rich, Berlin Bureau Chief Katrin Benhold, who will be joining us later, European Culture Editor Matthew Anderson, Chief Diplomatic Correspondent, the esteemed Stephen Erlanger, the Arts Correspondent Hilary M. Sheets, and Scott Rayburn. Together, they're an impressive crowd of people. Together, they will sit with some of the art world's foremost creatives, innovators, gallery owners, museum directors, thought leaders, and power players, posing critical questions to help sharpen our insights into the current art world and what its future may hold. I'm just going to end now just with a few words of sincere gratitude. I would like to extend our sincerest thanks to our founding sponsor, Qatar Museums, under the leadership of its chairperson, Her Excellency Sheikha Al Mayasser, who is here with us today. Sheikha, thank you for being with us. Special thanks also to our generous sponsors who have made this event possible, our presenting sponsor, AP Globale, our silver sponsor, ArtNet, and our bronze sponsors, Messinas, Assisi Panorama International, and XL Caitlin. Thank you also goes to the city of Berlin, who will be hosting its yearly Gallery Weekend Berlin celebration here in a few days, which we encourage you to explore. We also would like to thank, very importantly, our wine partner, Bird in Hand, and to our champagne partner, Ruinart. And thank you all for supporting this important New York Times event. Now, a very few housekeeping notes. A key part of today's program is the group of amazing lunch roundtable discussions we have curated to help you explore key issues and emerging opportunities in the art world. Each table discussion will be led by a prominent subject matter expert to help navigate the conversation. So if you have not signed up for a table at lunch, please be sure to do so during the morning break. And tomorrow afternoon, we have organized several exciting gallery tours and related activities which will provide you with a chance to explore the Berlin art scene. And boy, there's a lot to explore, with the themes of our discussion still fresh in your minds. So again, please do sign up for these activities as space is limited. Now, throughout the day, we encourage you, as I said before, to continue the conversation on social media. Follow us online at NYT Live. The hashtag for the day is hashtag NYTArt. That's hashtag NYTArt. Now, I'm certain you're all keen to dive in, so I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to invite Robin to join, to come up on stage. Thank you very much. Have a great conference.
Stephen, thank you for that introduction. And to my New York Times colleagues, thank you for collaborating on this exciting gathering. To all of you, thank you for coming. I'm excited to be here in Berlin with so many of the important people I cover every day in our news pages. Planning the New York Times Art Leaders Network was something of a daunting prospect. For an example of a tough crowd, one need look no further than the art world. Museum directors, art dealers, auction house executives, curators, collectors, and artists are among the more knowing, sophisticated, been around the block professionals around. You don't necessarily need another networking opportunity. You already gather several times a year at art fairs, auctions, and biennials. You are experts in your fields and therefore may not feel as if you have much to learn from one another. But having covered culture for many years now, I also know that what doesn't happen all that often in the largely siloed segments of the art world is the candid, collaborative sharing of experiences, ideas, struggles, and best practices that I hope will happen here over the next 2 days. The art world continues to present us with new challenges. How to deal with changing buying habits as collectors opt for the one-stop shopping of art fairs over the Saturday afternoon gallery crawl. How to begin rethinking the canon as we grow more conscious of the gaps in museum collections and gallery rosters, namely when it comes to women artists and artists of color. How to get our heads around the commercial potential and copyright questions having to do with this unfamiliar new art form called virtual reality. How to keep museums and galleries relevant and solvent in an age of formidable digital competition. How to redefine the auction house of tomorrow. These are among the issues we will wrestle with at this conference. I hope you'll speak honestly and even perhaps feel free to make news, since we have reporters covering this event, both from the Times and other organizations who we welcome. And just about every panel will live on our NYT Live YouTube channel, and some may be featured on our website. I hope you'll post about the conference, as Stephen said, on social media to extend our discussions beyond these walls at NYT Live and hashtag NYTArt. I hope panelists will attend each other's panels. I hope you'll take part in our luncheon roundtables, which will be led by some of the many major figures in the field. I hope you'll party. And I hope you realize that whether you're a panelist, a roundtable leader, or a delegate, just by being here, you are contributing to this rare forum, one we plan to continue every year. Because you represent the cream of the crop. From the heavy hitters to the up-and-comers, people have jokingly referred to this as the Davos of the art world, and that's just fine with me. There will be kinks, and there has already been criticism, I know the cost of attending was a hurdle for some, and that others would have liked to see more diversity. I can only say this is the first of many, just one example of the live journalism the New York Times is now engaged in all over the world on topics such as fashion, business, and politics. We welcome your feedback and appreciate your forgiveness along the way. So let the conversation begin. It is now my pleasure to kick things off with our first panel, Art in a Populist Age, led by my colleague, New York Times European Culture Editor, Matthew Anderson. Thank you.